Hello people, so before I get into this Dragon Ball Super discussion, I want to point out there will be some spoilers coming ahead, so if you don't want to be spoiled, don't watch this. But I do want to bring these spoilers up because there was a comment that was made after I did my review of Dragon Ball Super 102. The comment reads that they were pretty much disappointed with the way certain characters have been finalized in the Total Power when there's so much potential there. So many cool character designs, but at the end turned out to be disappointing. I can understand why they would feel that way. At this point, it's been very underwhelming. We haven't, with the exception of Jiren, Kale, and Khalifa, nobody's really got that type of development yet. I'm hoping that'll change because Universe 2 just lost a fight, and they were hyped up too, especially with Ribriane, and now we know Ribriane is going to fight 17. So I'm not too sure how that's going to go. I'm kind of hoping Topo is the one to fight 17 personally, because that would be a cool fight. But what they can do, but I just want to start off by saying I kind of made something of a discussion about this before the recruitment arc even was underway, before the Total Power got underway. I said I think this format of a battle royal was a mistake because there's no way you can put in that many characters from each universe and make them matter. And that's not the point. The point is, if you're going to bring that many characters into it, you can at least give them a chance to shine, and they haven't really done that. Certain characters have done that, but in the end, it really meant nothing. 10 members of each team was a bit too much, personally. I know why they did that, is so they can give Fighters from Universe 7 more chance to shine, because this could be their final moments in the series, so that's why they give them the spot. I don't agree with it, because it's not necessarily the best way, especially with the Battle Royal. It's already made Krillin, after all that development, made him into a complete joke. So it's disappointing. It's disappointing because it's going to happen to a lot of characters that got built up. It just happened with Kakunza, and she just literally just got wrecked by 17, who was literally holding back. That was obvious. So now it becomes, okay, is there a reason why people are being finalized, or are they trying to get to the next scenario in the top after the Total Power? Because that's the feeling I'm getting. Now I don't agree with it because there's no. Why have the Total Power if you're not going to build up? Like for instance, spoiler warnings. We have 2 fighters from Universe 6. They're about to be revealed. Apparently, the Namekians, the Universe 6 equivalent to the Namekians. Here's the problem. Okay, whether or not they're strong or not, it doesn't matter. If they're being introduced now without that build up, and they get finalized anyway, it's not really going to make a difference. So that's the problem. And what I'm hoping is, after everything's said and done, we got everything resolved, the universes get restored, because they will. In the long run, they will. I'm hoping we'll go to some of the universes and we'll see some of these characters again after the Total Power. Universe 6, I think, is a set. Regardless of what you think of the characters, I think we'll go to Universe 6 again. I honestly think that, because there's way too much unfinished business with Kabe and Vegeta. Remember the foreshadow going on to Planet Salda. Also, we had that little moment with Goku and Khalifa, so they may spar again, and I'm hoping they will. So there's no point introducing these characters if we're not going to get some closure in the long run, and getting a race isn't really exactly closure. So yeah, so I'm hoping that's what happens. And if they finalize the Namekians after so little build up, that's going to be underwhelming as fuck. So I get why people are coming from when it comes to that. Also, the problem is with the way the episode was laid out, it was more Sailor Moonish than anything else. The beginning parts were just like the build up to the transformations. I can see why some people had a problem with that. Personally, it is what it is. You read too much into this, and you're gonna get. You're gonna bicker about everything. So I tend to not do that. I just go along for the ride. So this is what we got, and to be honest with you, the payoff was a bit underwhelming. I'm hoping that changes from here on in. We should be past the point of fodder in the Total Power. Spoiler warnings. Speaking of fodders, Universe 10 will be the next to go, and judging from how Gohan and Piccolo are teaming up next week, that could be sooner rather than later, maybe even next week. So GodTube will be terminated after the Total Power. You can bet bottom dollar on it. So. And Gohan's going to be responsible for it, and plus he's got powering up, so that's cool. Plus, the fighters from Universe 7 are finally going solo, so maybe we'll get some of that development for certain characters. Also, it means that certain characters lower tier are going to get wrecked. I just wanted to point that out. And there's also these theories that maybe Master Roshi is going to die in this tournament, and that's what's going to trigger Goku to go in this new mode. And personally, I don't think that makes any sense, considering the fact is, if they win, they can revive him anyway. So I'm like, the people that got killed in the Tournament of Power, you can just wish to have restored by the end of after everything's been resolved, you can restore them, right? So we finally get to see some development for certain characters. I'm hoping that's what happens. I'm not holding my breath on that, but I think it's a missed opportunity to introduce that many characters if there's not going to be that much of a payoff. If they're just here for this one arc, yeah, there's no point in building them up in the first place. So other than Jiren and the Saiyans from Universe 6, I don't think there's other fighters, with the exception of Universe 7 of course, that have gotten that much development in the Total Power. Jiren really hasn't done a whole lot, but he doesn't need to. And especially if Jiren is going to fight the team of Goku and Hit, and he comes out on top. So, speaking of Goku's new mode, do you think he's going to awaken that before he fights Jiren or after? I personally think he's going to awaken it after Jiren. So how do you think Goku's going to awaken this new mode? Is he going to get triggered into it? And if he does, is it going to take another universe getting erased, maybe Universe 6? Because he does have an attachment to it with Hit and now with Caulifla. So if that goes, maybe that's what triggers him. Or if not, it could be a member from Universe 7 getting killed. Or maybe Beerus. So we'll see. I think they're speeding things up with having people fodder in the Tournament of Power at the early stages, so we can get that bigger scenario by the end of the arc. That's just my personal opinion. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I think that's where they're heading with it. We can do as well, especially if we've got Namekians involved with the Universe 6. I'm hoping Piccolo goes up against them and when we get to see what Piccolo could really do. That could be good. So, and also there's a clip of Gohan actually punching, going against Batomo, and he's actually trying to punch him. And given the fact how little that did for Goku and Vegeta, I'm puzzled as to why Gohan is actually trying to punch Batomo. But then again, he wasn't there to witness the Universe 6 arc. By the way, that's starting in the English dub, which I'm about to watch pretty later on, so I'm looking forward to that. Anyway, that's it from me. Thanks so much for watching. Like this review if you did, or like this video if you did. I appreciate that. Comment down below what you think is going to happen next. What do you think about Goku's new transformation? And do you think we'll actually see some Namekians from Universe 6? And what do you think about the Total Power so far? Subscribe, channel, more Dragon Ball Super. Catch you guys later. Bye.